Hi, welcome to Roy's Game Table. Today we have game 5 of my 5 stocking stuffers for Christmas. So pull up a chair and let's see what Cartographers is all about. So in this game, we are going to be looking at Cartographers, a role player tale. And so let's go straight into it and see what the game's all about. All right, so we've got everything almost set up. I've got the Explore deck shuffled and already have an ambush card in there, and you'll see what those are. The ambush cards are monster cards, and there's 3 of them right here that I'm going to keep off screen. And each season, I'll add a new one of these cards into the Explore deck right here. But like I said, I've already shuffled this up, and it's ready to go. We start off in spring, and we'll go through each of the seasons of the year. And as you can see, in spring, we will score A and B both from right up here. And then this 8 means that when I do explore cards, there will be numbers at the top of each one of these explore cards. And when those numbers add up to 8, that's when the round will end and we'll score A and B. So what you see here, I got the different scoring types that we'll be using. And I've already shuffled these up, but there's 4 different types. So I'll just draw one of each one of the cards and of each one of the decks. So we'll have one of each type, but like a forest type, village type, one of these types, and then a water and farmland type. I'll just randomly set one of the, each scoring card next to one of these letters, and that's how we'll do it. So we'll have the cauldrons, we'll have the wild holds for B, C will be the tree tower, and D will be the shoreside expanse. Okay, so for this first season for spring, we're going to be scoring the cauldrons, which let's go ahead and look at that. It's earn 1 reputation star. Let me hold it up where you can see it. It's earn 1 reputation star for each empty space surrounded on all 4 sides by filled spaces or the edge of the map. So as you can see, there's a, this space right here with the 1, it's got a filled in space all the way around it. Diagonal doesn't matter, it's the orthogonal. So that's why you get a 1, and then you get a 1 here because you have the edges, and then you have these filled spaces. So for this first season, I'm going to want to try to get spaces that have empty spaces kind of in the middle, filled spaces. And then the wild holds, it says earn 8 reputation stars for each cluster of 6 or more village spaces. Now, a cluster doesn't have to just look like this that it does on the card. A cluster is just a set of all the terrain types that all run together. So, like I said, it doesn't have to look like this, but the villages all have to be connecting, and I have to have 6 or more in one spot connecting. If I do, I can get 8 points. And you may wonder what the 16 is for. And on that card and the 20 that was on this card here, and that's just kind of a goal. I want to try to get at least that much when I score these at the end of the 2 times I score it. So here's my map, and I'll be putting everything right here. And as you can see, let me push everything up just a little bit right here. As you can see, put stuff around these mountains, and the mountains have a gold coin in it. So if I fill in each one of the spaces orthogonally adjacent to each one of the mountains, I can fill in a gold down here, and every time I score, I get to score gold for each one of these. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started, and I'll try to explain the game as I go. But the first one, we're going to have a hinterland stream, and I can either get farm or water. I can pick the terrain type, and it's got to look like this shape right here that I got to try to fill in, and I can put it anywhere on the map that I want. Okay, so let's see. Okay, there doesn't seem to be really a good spot to put this, in my opinion, but I think I'm going to put it right here by these mountains. So I'll draw 3, it's 3 down, and 3 over. I'm going to put farm in here. And so then the reason is because I'm kind of looking forward to the shoreside expanse, and you get 3 points for every cluster of farm that is not near the edge of the map and not touching water. So right now this would get me 3. It's not till I score D later on, but right now it's going to get me 3, okay? So we've got, if you can see it up here, there's 2. So I've got 2 out of the 8 time, and then I'll end the round. Okay, we got a hamlet that's next. It's only 1, so I'm at 3, and I can do a village. And I can do this shape right here and get a coin, and I'll score the coin every round like I said a minute ago. Or I could do this shape. And I think I'll go ahead and put the bigger shape right here next to where I've got the farmland already in this mountain. And I know that I'm covering up a ruin, and that's okay. You can do it. It's just if a ruin comes out, then the card that comes out on top of the ruin has to go, that shape has to go over a ruin. And I'm taking that away. But I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway because it will get me this coin. And remember, for the cluster, I only need 6 in a cluster. And I've got 5 by doing that. And it doesn't have to look like this shape. I can put, I can put a village up here and score the 8 points for the wild hold. So I'm going to do that. I'll fill in the coin for the mountain because I've surrounded the mountain. So I get a coin down here. All right, and we'll move to the next card, and it's going to be the homestead. So there we go. I think, well, there's a couple of things I could do, but I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to put it, and I'll make it a village, and I'll just come like this, and make the homestead like that. And my drawing is not very good, but whatever. And so now I will score the 8 points for these wild holds for this cluster anyway of villages. Okay, so we're at 4, 5 out of 8. The next one is going to be a treetop village. And we can do that shape right there. And I think I am going to make another village, I think, because I'm scoring that right now. I'm going to put it right here with one edge touching the mountain. And the reason why I want to do that is because I don't want to touch these clusters of villages, or else it'll be one continuous cluster. So I want to start making another cluster of villages so I can score another 6 points. So I'm going to do that. So let's fill in the houses here. And also by doing it like this, I'm hoping I can get something to go right here. And this spot here can score me a point for the cauldrons. But we'll see what happens. So we're at 2, 4, 6, 7. So the next one will probably end the turn. Oh, it is. No, it's a 0. And I can put anything that I want, any one of these shapes, but just one spot. I'll just put the farm right here because that will give me a point right here for the cauldron. All right, so now we have to draw another card, and it is going to be a ruins. So we'll draw another card to go on top of it, and it's going to be the fishing village. So I can either put water or I can put villages on, but it has to be on top of ruins. And it has to be the straight line of 4 spots. So let's see here. I guess I have to put it over ruins. I'm just going to put it right here. And I'll make it a village. So I got a cluster of 4 here and a cluster of 5 here. I don't want to connect them, but I could get 2 more clusters if I can pull it off. But that is 8. And so now what we'll do is we'll score each one of the cards for A and B. Well, for the cauldrons, I've only got 1 space that is surrounded on all 4 sides. So I'm only going to get 1 point for that. And then for B, I've got 1 cluster of 6 that, of at least 6 that is all together. So that's going to give me 8 points. I've got 1 coin, and then I didn't get any monsters, so that's going to be 0. So I got 10 points for the first round, and then I'll shuffle these all back up, and there is an ambush card that's in here with monsters. That's going to stay, but I will also put this one in there as well. So now there's a chance I could get 2 ambushes in the next one. Okay, so this time I'm going to be scoring the wild holds again, and we looked at that, and now the tree tower. In the tree tower, I'll get a point for every forest space that's surrounded by filled in spaces. And so now I want to start getting some forest out if I can. And we start off with an ambush. So this is how this works in the solo mode. We have the Kobold Onslaught here. So we'll look up at the top and it says to start at the bottom. And I'm going to try to fill in this space the first chance I get along the bottom here, going around, going around the map. So it tells me to start here and I want to try to fill in this spot. So I'll go up and the first place I can do it looks like is going to be right here. So I will put in that spot. Now, there is some good news about this. Monsters are considered filled spaces. And so, by putting those monsters there, and that was the first time I could do it, but by putting those monsters there, I now have a space that's filled in, an empty space that has everything filled in around it. That'll score me a point when I get to the cauldrons. All right, and then this Kobold Onslaught will leave the game. Let's see what we got next. We got a Riftland. All right, so, well, I want to get forest. Well, I could put in another one of these villages to get the 6 that I need for another cluster. But I also need, let's see if I can find a spot to put the trees and score a point for that. I think I want to go ahead. This is the last time I'll be scoring the wild holds for the rest of the game. So I'm going to use the village, and I'll just put it in right here next to these. And so that's going to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a cluster of 6. And so now that's another 8 points that I'll get on that one. And that's a 0. So we got plenty of time still. Okay, treetop village. And I think I'm going to just do another village. And I'm going to do it right here. So we're going to go, you can flip it however you want, the orientation. So I'm going to do it like this and make another village. And this will give me another cluster of 6 villages. And diagonals don't count. They're not considered adjacent from what I understand. So this is a cluster of 6 that's separate from this one here. Okay, so we've got that. The next card is going to be a farmland. And I can put 2 spaces and get a gold, or I can get like the plus sign type thing. And remember, looking ahead, if it's not touching the edge of the map and it's a cluster, I can get 3 points for it. And so I think I'm going to put the 2 right here by the mountains and this village. Put the farmland there, so it's not touching the edge of the map. There's no water. I'm getting close to filling in the mountain, and because I did that, I do get to fill in the gold coin. All right, so we're at 3 out of 8, and next is going to be marshlands. I can do the trees or water. And I think I'll just put it right here upside down near these villages in this mountain. Hopefully get it close to filling around this mountain. So we have some trees that are going to go here. And one reason why I decided to do that is because this space is going to be filled in. This tree space right here, that'll give me a point. And we are at 5 out of 8. All right, the next one is going to be the Forgotten Forest. It has to be trees, and let's see where we want to put this. And one thing that I don't want to do, I don't want to leave this space and this space right here open, because I'll lose points because of these monsters that came out earlier. So I'm going to use the smaller one for here too, and put some forest in for that, and that will give me another coin, and hopefully I'll be able to put something either right here or whatever, so that I can get points off of these forest spaces. So anyway, we're at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 8. The next one is going to be a great river. Okay, well, I could put that up here. I think I will. I'm using a lot of the smaller ones, but mainly the reason why I'm doing that is because, I'm trying to fill in spaces around the forest right now. So, and that's going to help me do it. So I used the 3. So I surrounded this mountain. That's going to give me a gold. All right, so that's my 4th gold. And then I used the smaller space. So the smaller one that gives me a gold. So I'll get another gold from that. And we are at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 8. So one more. And it is another raid. Okay, so we are at a goblin raid. So this time we'll start up in the top left. And we will go counterclockwise around. until we can find a spot to put in this shape here. And so let's see. We're not going to be able to do that, it looks like, till right here. So we'll go ahead, and that's unfortunate that it came in. So I'm going to lose a lot of points, I think, because of this. But there's nothing I can do about it. And that came out at a bad time. So we're at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We draw another one. It's a outpost ruins. So then this fishing village has to go on top of ruins. And let's see where I can put that. I'm going to put it over top this ruins here. It has to be the straight line with 4. And the reason why I'm doing that mainly is so I don't lose the point from that square right there. But that is, I am done. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we got more than enough there. So let's go ahead and score. We'll do the wild holds. And now I have 1, 2, 3 clusters of villages that are not touching. And so that's going to be 24 points for B. Okay, and now I got a score for the tree towers. I'm looking for forest spaces that are surrounded on all sides. I get 1 point for each one. So this one is 1, this one is 2, 3, and I think that may be it. I think that may be all the forest spaces that are surrounded right now. So 3 points for C. I've got 5 coins, but I'm going to lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points because of that ambush that came in late, and that hurts. So that -5 will negate the coins. So I've got 27 for my round 2. So I'll shuffle these up. I'll shuffle in a new ambush card, and then we'll move to fall. All right, well, let's see what we're starting off with in fall, the Great River. And now I want tree towers again, tree spaces that are surrounded by filled-in spaces. And now I want the clusters of farmland that are not touching the edge of the map and that are also not touching water. I also get 3 points for water clusters that are not touching farmland or the edge of the map. Okay, so now I have to draw water, and I can do the small one and get coins, or the larger one and not get a coin. I'm going to use the smaller one. I'm going to put it right here, because by doing this, I'm covering up 2 tree spaces right here, and I've got a cluster that's not touching farmland. I'm next to the mountain, and hopefully can close in some of these and maybe get some points thinking ahead for winter. But because I used the smaller one, I get another coin. All right, so let's see what's next. That was 1 out of 7. Now we're up to 3 out of 7. I can do marshlands, I can do water or tree. And I think I'll go ahead and do this right here. And by doing that, let's see, we got 3 and then 2. And then by doing that, I'm going to use the trees. So that is going to give me a couple of spots that are filled in completely with my trees. And also thinking ahead for the cauldron, I got a spot here that's empty and everything surrounded it. So that's pretty good, I think. So now let's move on. And we are at a hamlet. And unfortunately, we're not scoring the wild holds again. So I can do the 3 or the bigger one. And, well, I could put it here and get put the smaller one right here and have another empty space. But I also would like to start filling in so that I don't get myself in trouble and lose points with these monsters. So I got to decide what I want to do on that. And I think I have decided. I'm going to put it right here. The village is right here. So it's 3 over and 2 down. And a couple reasons why I'm doing that. Number 1, I fill in this mountain now, so I'm going to get that gold. So that's good. And I'll give myself another gold down here. And also by doing that, I do have an empty space right here, and I covered up 2 spaces over the monsters. I think that was a good choice. So now we are at 4 out of 7, and we're going to end up being at 6 here out of 7 in a minute. I can do villages or farms with that space right there. And I'm going to put these, I think, right here. I'm going to make it farm because, and the reason why I want to put it here is because I can hopefully make this space empty for later, but also it's another cluster of farms that's not touching the edge of the map, not touching water. And so that's why I did it, I think. So we got 2, 4, 6, this next one. Yep, this is going to be the last one for fall. And I can do villages or water with that length. And I also, well, I can put water and score water, clusters of water that's not touching the edge of the map or farms. And I have to put 4, a row of 4. I think I'm going to put it down here actually. And that's because mainly I won't be able to score this, but I'm doing it because I want to cover up this one spot here for that's next to this monster so I don't lose points for that. So I guess that's what I'll do. All right, so we are at the end of the round, so let's score for the tree towers. 1 point for each tree that is surrounded by filled spaces. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it looks like there. Okay, so we scored 7 for C, and that's going to be 10 points. I'm 7 below what I needed for the tree tower, but hopefully I can make up for it with the wild holds. I scored really well there. All right, and then for D is the shoreside expanse. 3 farmlands that aren't touching the edge of the map, and water, or in 3 points for water that's not touching farmland and the edge of the map. So let's see, that water is touching. This water's not, that's 3. This is another 3, that's 6. Okay, and then we have this farmland, so that's 9. This farmland, so that's 12. 15 for the shoreside expanse. And yes, I know that there's a farmland right here, but remember, diagonals aren't adjacent. So this cluster here is not touching that. All right, so now I've got, let's see, 3, 6, 7 coins. And then I lose spaces. I lose 1, 2 points for the monsters. So I did help myself out there. So let's see, we got 14. 29 minus 2 is 27 again. All right, so I'll put this last ambush card in, shuffle these up, and we will move to the last round, which is winter. Okay, so we're ready to do winter. We only get 6 time on this. And we'll start with the treetop village. And unfortunately, I'm not scoring either one of these again. So let's see what I can do with this. And I think I found a good little space right here for this. And we'll just make it forest. So let's see. We draw those in. Okay, and so that's going to give me 2 blank spots to score for the cauldron. That's good, so that's 2. And then the farmland, I can do a small one for another coin or a plus sign. Okay, and I think the best thing for me to do is I'm just put the 2. In fact, I don't think there's a place for the plus sign. I'm not sure, but I'm going to put the 2 farmland here, and that is going to extend out this cluster here, but it's still not touching water or the edge of the map. And it does fill in this mountain. So I'll get this coin, so another coin, and I get the coin for using this spot, just that one. So I got the coin for the mountain and the coin for using just the 2 smaller shape. All right, so we're at 3 out of 6. And now we are at 5 out of 6, and we've got water or farm that put down. And this is going to be unfortunate because the only place I can put this is on the edge of the map. And it looks like I can only do it where I'm going to lose points either here with the farms or down here with the water. I'm going to put it down here because if I put water here, it will be touched. This cluster that I scored last time is now going to be touching the map, the edge of the map. And that's too bad, but it will get me a point here for the cauldron at least, I guess. And let's see, that was 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So yes, that's correct shape. So we are at 2, 4, 5. We get 1 more. Okay, good. It's 0. Let's see what I can do with that. And I think I'm going to put a village right here over these ruins, which will take the point. I won't lose the point for this for this one now, and I'll score a point right here between this mountain and with that empty space. So I guess that's good, but I get to draw another one. That's 5, and here we go. So now this is gonna be the last one because now that's up to 7. So I've either gonna put water or marsh with that shape. And by the way, if you ever cannot put a shape on the map, you get to draw one square somewhere on the map. And it looks like that's going to be the case. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right here. Now, I know that if I would have put it right here, I wouldn't lose this point from the monster, so I will lose a point there. But by putting it there, I actually pick up 2 points. So it's a net gain of 1. I think that's what I'm going to do. I hope that works out for me. We'll see. I feel like I haven't really played that great of a game this time. But let's go ahead and score. So we're scoring the shore side expanse. And we've got, for mountains, we got 3, 6, 9 still for mountains that are not touching the edge of the map and not touching water. But for the water, we got 3, and that's it. So I got 3, 6, 9 for the mountains, and then 12 for the 3 more for the water for 12. And that's it. That water's touching this cluster of water is touching the edge. So 12 for D. And now for the cauldron, I get earn 1 reputation star for each empty space surrounded on all 4 sides by filled spaces on the edge of the map. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those. And I didn't do good on the cauldron. That's the first time I've ever had that one. And I just didn't do very good. Only 10 points, and I needed 20. All right, let's see about the coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 coins. I did get a lot of coins in this game. And I'm only losing, though, 1 point for the monsters. Only 2 monsters came out the whole game. So just a -1. All right, so let me add this up. So that's going to be 21, and 9 is 30, minus 1 is 29. Okay, so now what I do is I'll total up my score here. And so I got 10 plus 27, I'll just use my calculator, plus 27 plus 29. So I've got a total of 93 points for mine. Now what I do is I will look here, and as it says here, I will total up all the 4 silver stars that were on our scoring cards, and I'll subtract that total from my 93. Okay, so like the cauldron has 20, the wild hold has 16, the tree tower 17, and the shore side expanse 27. Okay, and that was a total of 80 for these. So I will subtract 80 from my 93, which is 13, and your score is, so I got 13. I didn't quite make it to the 20, so I am a journeyman topographer. I'm the 3rd from the top. And, I wish it could have been better. The cauldron, I think, was tough. That one hurt. That was the first time as I said, that I've done that one. I had a hard time doing that one. But I guess that's not too bad. I got the journeyman topographer. All right, so let me go and talk about the game. All right, and that's Cartographers, a role player tale. And so hopefully you enjoyed the playthrough. And as you can see, it does seem to play pretty quickly. The box says that it plays 30 to 45 minutes, and that's probably about what I've noticed, at least for a solo game. I don't know what it would be for multiplayer because I haven't played it multiplayer, but it does seem to go pretty quick, and there are some good decisions you have to make, and the different scoring options can change each game, so that adds replayability, and the way the Explore cards come out, that can add replayability, and so it's a pretty good game. And as far as for the, sorry, I had it upside down. As far as for what the series is about, will it fit into the stocking? Well, we'll try to put it in here, and in this particular red stocking, it'll go, but it won't go quite all the way in. It sticks up at a little bit at the top on this stocking. So I do have one more though. I have this one, And let's see if it'll fit inside of this stocking. And all right, give me a minute here. It's a little bit bigger than some of the other boxes, but as you see, it slid right down. And here's the game. There's the top of it. So you do have some room, and at least in this size stocking, to put the game. And so there we go. That's the 5th of my 5 stocking stuffers for Christmas. And I hope you've enjoyed the series. If you did, please consider to like and subscribe. I'll have some other videos coming out and other playthroughs. And until I do, I'll save you a seat at the table. Thanks for watching.